Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to J Wall Sports. We are back here with another episode.
Another. Hey, Pistol,
This,
receiver. Hit my line. Hit my line.
what is up with you in this? When you bench your seasoned veteran quarterback this late in the season, it's sending a message to the team.
Then goes out, and now they want to play with some heart. They want to play with some effort.
I see why Doc got fired. If you're not gonna make the adjustments of the coach, you need to go up and get up out of here.
Wentz has regressed, and it's a mental.
Disclaimer: he might have some outrageous, Max Kellerman type, things to say today. I don't know what he's gonna say, but the way he's starting off his video, it is giving me them vibes. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to J Wall Sports. As always, I'm with my guy, Nice Sean, and we are back with another episode, man.
Hey, Cole came out a couple of weeks, and he had a song called "Applying Pressure." And I think this week we've been applying a lot of pressure.
Straight pressure.
And the following track after that was "Punching the Clock" with Damon. Get a little sample for Damon.
Hey man, you already know, man. When my man hit like this, it's over.
It's on.
Hey, speaking of that, you know how when Apple came out, you can modify your apps and everything. You know what my clock setting is. My John say Dame time, boy.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. But hey, we not gonna call this Dame time right now. This is J Wall time right now because we got these NBA recaps and predictions to go over, and might as well just jump into it. So to start things off, the Milwaukee Bucks, they blew out the Miami Heat. But before we get started, I got a special announcement to make. Now, Sean's streak is over. He had a nice 6-game win streak going, but he predicted that the Miami Heat were gonna defend their home court, and they got blown out. And for that, now, Sean, you were capping, my boy. Yeah, you might. You know what? Go ahead and put the Winston alum on for the video. Come on, go ahead and do it for the one time for it. Yeah. Go ahead and do it for the one time for it. Yeah. That boy is a capper. So we all know Nashawn was wrong. And the Bucks, they finished game 3 with the final score of 113-84. Chris Middleton led the way for the Bucks with 22 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists, followed by Drew Holiday, who had 19 points, 12 assists, and shot 70% from the field. My God, Drew. So, Nashawn, how surprising is it that the Bucks are dominating the Heat like this?
I think this is what we've been expecting from the Bucks these last 2 postseasons, and they haven't delivered. So I wouldn't say surprising, but expected. They've been letting us down these last 2 years. So now they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. Not surprised, but suppose. It's a word. They're playing great ball, and I think you said it in the last episode 4 last. Having Drew Holiday is like a center for that defense. It gives Giannis a brace where they don't have to guard the best offensive player on the other side. So Drew's locking up whatever shooting guard. Giannis is down low doing Giannis. Middleton at the wing and shoot. They got a lot of shooters around them, so it's not surprising, but well overdue. And I think they can make the conference finals the way they're looking right now. So
I completely agree with you, man. Drew Holiday, and I have that in my notes right here. My emphasis on Drew Holiday and how it's crazy how one person can change the tide so much. And That's why I'm extremely surprised by how well they're dominating the Heat. I expect this to like go 5, 6, 7 games. I expected this to really be a series, but it looks like the Bucks they bringing out the broom. So that's very surprising because this is the same team last year that lost 4-1 in the bubble. But like I know people are gonna be like, oh, the situation was different, especially with all the racial injustice. And I know it's difficult for teams to stay focused in the bubble while the outside world was having such a problem with our people being killed. But 4-1, I can't contribute all of that to the outside world because it's not like they met in the first round when everything was fresh, hot, and heavy. They met later on in that Eastern playoff series. So I can't attest all of that to that 4-1, but yeah, they're playing very well, but I'm not going to give them praise because I'm not going to give you praise for something you're supposed to do. Like you said, this is what we expected you to do. Now, if you go out and you do this against the Brooklyn Nets, all right, I'm gonna give you your kudos. I'm gonna give you your props. I'm gonna give you your flowers. But until I see them, really get challenged in a series and like perform like this, I'm not gonna give them credit for what they're supposed to do.
I agree. So I can take the cap out right now when we're done talking about that.
Yeah,
I am no longer a capper. I'm going for the second topic. Second topic right here. After leading at halftime by 3 points, the Los Angeles Lakers went on a 14-4 run and never looked back on the way to a 109-95 victory. Anthony Davis finished the game with 34 points and 11 rebounds, while LeBron had 26 points, 6 rebounds, and 9 assists. How impressive was this win for the Lakers?
I was very impressed. Very, very impressed. And I'm basing this off the fact that the Lakers Big Four have only played 6 games. And Big Four, I'm gonna talk about LeBron, AD, Andre Drummond, and Dennis Schroeder. They've only played 6 games, including the game last night. They've only played 6 games together. And each time they get on the floor, I am more impressed at how they're gelling, how they're understanding each other and how to play with one another. Game 1, it was a real feel out process for them. We all the media, we got on our platforms and we called for AD to have a better game, LeBron to have a better game. They said Drummond was the problem. They said Schroeder need to have a bigger impact in the game. Game 2 and game 3, all those things were were checked off for the media, and we realized Andre Drummond is not the problem. So I'm very surprised on this team, especially in just in this game, because that 14-0 run led by LeBron, who came out and he started attacking the basket, going downhill, and opened up the floor so much for his team. The Suns, they just didn't have an answer for LeBron and AD. And Frank Vogel, coming out after the third quarter, and when he talked to the media, he said that they weren't calm, they were rushing things. Once they focused on the pace, it was all green lights from there.
You made a great point, but I think it's just great leadership right now. I mean, you got one of the greatest players of all time in LeBron James leading that team, having tons of playoff experience. You had Anthony Davis, who's played with LeBron last year in the bubble, coming back a couple years when he played for New Orleans, having the playoff experience. You had key pieces like Montrezl Harrell, Wesley Matthews, KCP, and all them. They have playoff experience. And looking at this Suns roster, they don't have a lot of playoff experience besides Jay Crowder and CP3. And CP3 is not even 100%, so he's not on the floor leading that team. And you can see the lack of experience is showing up. But you gotta give the hats off to the Lakers. They're getting the job done. All the points that you made were right. LeBron, I think the ankle's starting to fully heal. He's attacking the basket, making those turns on the ankle. And I mean, I was hoping for a series, but
Well, we don't like close series.
But it's not looking like it. Devin Booker didn't have a good game like he had in game one, and they really slowed him down these last two games. So
I love the defense adjustments from the best defensive coach in the league. All right, man. So we had a close game between the Nuggets and the Trailblazers last night. CJ McCollum hit the 25-foot jumper to make it a one-possession game, and then fouled Monte Morris with 3.2 seconds on the clock to send him to the line. Not only did Monte Morris miss the first free throw, but he also missed the second free throw. But thank God for the Denver Nuggets that who I believe is going to be this year's 2021 MVP, Nikola Jokic, got the rebound and was able to score to give the Nuggets the win for a final score of 120 to 115. Now, Sean, how big was this win for the Nuggets?
Before we even get into that question, I do believe, and y'all can go back and pull up the receipts from the last episode. I think Mark said that the Blazers were going to win, and it hurts me to say that because I'm a Blazers fan. But we do have the segment called "Stop the Cap," and I'm gonna need you to find something right now because you may get up on my seat.
I got you, bro. I got you. I already knew it was coming. I already knew. I don't even know which one I want. I got like 8 of them. You know what? I gotta show love because on 1892, bro. I'm going 3 for 3 tomorrow. On 1892, I'll go in 3 for 3 tomorrow.
Okay. We'll see. But how big of a win was this? It was just a win. Nothing too big.
It was just a win.
It was just a win because the teams are very evenly matched up. Portland came out game one and gave them a blow, and they responded game two to even up the series. So I knew game three there's gonna come with a punch to try to give an uppercut to Portland. Now even then they lost by 5. Two evenly matched teams, a lot of history these last couple of years, very close matchups. So I know what Portland's getting into. That's why I said that they was gonna still win tonight, and they did. So I do expect Portland to bounce back to win game 4 before they head back to Denver. Plain and simple. Wow. This is going to 6 or 7, and it's looking like it might go to 7.
Hey, I agree with you there. It's going to 6 or 7, but yo, MK bag, you getting deeper and deeper in there.
Hey, chill out, man. Come on now.
Hey, man. At first, man, with the statements you made earlier, how you said you ain't have no faith in your team.
No. You said that.
You put about this. You put about up to your elbow. That was in your Max Kellerman bag. Now you about up to a little bit towards the bicep. You in your Max Kellerman bag because you said that was just a win, and that is not just a win. You right. Think about who they do not have on that court. Who do they not have on that court? Jamal Murray. Exactly. Do we gotta go back and get the receipts for what Jamal Murray did last year in the playoffs? And how they got the name the comeback kids because him and Nikola Jokic put the team on their back and came back 3-1 on the Utah Jazz. This not just a win. This is a very impressive win for this team. Yeah. They started the game off down. They had to weather the storm, then come back and secure the win in a place that it's not their home. They was in y'all home, and they came in and they had to steal one. Austin Rivers was a big boost for this team, 21 points, for him, that filled a little bit of the hole of what Jamal Murray does. You know, that scoring, it fills some of the holes for them. And the bench production for this Nuggets team was big, man. In each game, the team with the most bench points was the difference maker in a win and an L. And that rebound by Nikola Jokic, first of all, you know what your team, you know who your team is. You know, and we've seen it before when Dame was, a young vet, what he can do with one shot in 3.2 seconds. He was gonna send that to overtime because Dame was cooking. He was gonna send that to overtime. Monte Morris missed both free throws. All they had to do was get the rebound call, timeout, and then Terry Scott was gonna draw up a play. Like, come on, that was a big win, and that rebound was the best play of the game.
Like I said, it's going to 7, and
for sure.
I have faith in my team. That's all. I just knew how even matched up the teams are, and it just comes with the territory.
All right. Excuse me, people. All right, name, Lord.
All right, so let's get to these predictions. We have 3 exciting games tonight. I want to keep it on. We had 2 episodes of predictions, and took to the second episode for me to get 1 L. You already got 2, right?
Yeah. You gonna make it with me, man. We gonna keep up with this all the way to the finals. Your law of averages are gonna make it.
It sounds like you want to make a bet. So what's the one to get, though? Like,
ooh, you know what? Let's ponder on this, and we'll come back next episode, and we'll have something for the people.
All right. So first, we have the Knicks and the Hawks at 7. Who is taking this game and why?
Man, the Hawks are gonna win this game.
Go ahead, put that hat back on, dog.
Nah, hey, look, man. Trae Young said we gonna see y'all in the A. And that won't just a hey, how you doing? You in the A, welcome to Atlanta. Let me show you around. No, this is when you come to the A, we gonna stump you and show you how ruthless Atlanta is. Trae Young meant it. Every word, every syllable, every letter, he meant it. And I'm expecting Trae Young to have a big game. I'm also expecting for John Collins to, have a good game because he was held scoreless. And my guy Lemon Pepper Lou, he finna come in because he only had 5 points last game. In the first game, he had 13. I'm expecting my man Lou Williams to come out here and get some buckets and be a very contributing scorer off the bench for this Hawks team, like we know he can. It's only a matter of time before he breaks out in this series and he goes crazy. And I'm not saying he's gonna go crazy in this next game, but I think he's going to be, a very good contributor for this team in a win in Game 3 over the Knicks.
I had the Knicks in this game. You said Trae's going to go off. It's kind of like the Denver Portland. Yeah, the Denver Portland series. Let Joker do his thing because Austin Rivers is not going to put up 21 tonight. The first 2 games, only 3 other players had double digits for the Hawks. And so even in our first game, I think Bogdan had 26, 29. Second game only had 18. And like you said, Collins, he didn't score. He got in foul trouble early in the game. Second half, they weren't hitting shots. The role players that needed to hit shots that were hitting shots in game 1, they weren't hitting shots. They was real dry in that fourth quarter when they made that run and took the lead. And Julius Randle was starting to hit them shooters. He was starting to find his little offensive flow in the game. It wasn't scoring. He got a lot of rebounds offensively, got stops, and was hitting Reggie Bullock, hitting open players for the shots. So I think game 3, we're gonna see Julius Randle come to his form that we've seen, and which is why he is the most improved player of the year. So I got the Knicks, and they're starting to figure out how to attack the Hawks on defense. Let Trey do Trey, you lock up everybody else, and shoot, we see y'all back in New York.
Okay. And then I understand that, but who's been? I'm not sure off the top of my head who's been playing defense on Julius Randle.
Collins, right?
Collins. You know what? If I could take Collins being scoreless if you hold Julius Randle for 50 in 2 games. I look he can take that. I look he can take that. But the rebounding numbers I can't take. I understand you got Julius Randle, but the rebound numbers I can't take. I can take you going scoreless because he's not really a 2-way player. Not your not how we think of a 2-way player, lock up and can give you a bucket. So I could take that.
Even in game 2, we're not going back and forth.
We're not going back and forth. I just thought about that on top of the dome. My fault. All right. Who we got next? Man, I don't lost my place. Okay. The second game, it's the Nets who are up 2-0. They're now taking a trip to the Garden to take on the Boston Celtics. Who are you taking in this game and why? This is a quick segment, So just go ahead. We already know. If you say who I think you about to say, don't do that. Don't do that.
I got the Nets.
Oh, okay.
Come on now. There's too much firepower.
You had me worried. I mean, you in your MK bag. So I was like, I ain't know how deep you was trying to get in there. I mean, you already got your bicep in there. I thought you was gonna go like full shoulder deep in there. I ain't know.
I mean, it's just too much firepower for Boston to handle. I don't see them keeping up or slowing down to keep up with Brooklyn. Tatum will play. I don't know how that eye is doing, but shoot, Buddy needs some help.
For sure.
Ever since Kemba Walker came to Boston, I think he left his shot down in Charlotte because he ain't been hitting on Jet Daly's squad. And that's the second option. Can be a one-man show in the playoffs. So
yeah, I agree with you, man. It's too much firepower for Boston, too much of everything for Boston. But I mean, Kemba's starting to, regain a little bit of his Charlotte vibes. I mean, we've seen how he did drop Blake Griffin. That is very Charlotte Kemba-like. So,
and that was the first play of the game, though. They were down 30 by halftime.
Yeah, and it comes in spurts at first, but they don't have enough time for him to come in at spurts. I think him being a third option, going from option number 1 to option number 3, it's not every player handles it the same. And then we got to jump back to being option number 2. It's throws your rhythm off a little. So I see why he's struggling, a little bit. But yeah, it's too much firepower. Don't know, not too sure about the health of Jason Tatum and that eye, how well he can see out of it, because he's not going to tell us the full story of how well he can see out of it. So yeah, I got the Nets.
It might be like Brian see 3 rounds, but the 3 rounds gonna be Kyrie, James, and KD.
That's 3 monsters from Space Jam.
You need some of that special stuff,
right?
But let's go ahead and wrap this up, man. Lastly, the Denver Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks. Chill, bro. Chill.
Go ahead.
The Dallas Mavericks, who are up 2-0, will be hosting the Clippers. Who's taking this game and why?
I'm not gonna lie. I am 50-50 on this one, wholeheartedly.
Me too. This is one of those things where like
Yeah,
you got to go on a limb on this one.
right. And I'm gonna explain to you why I'm 50-50 because so we've seen the poor performance of the Clippers and the bubble last year in the playoffs. They don't want to repeat that because then now you have to go a whole nother summer answering all these questions. Why can't you guys close in the fourth quarter? I thought you guys had the best backcourt. What happened? Why can't you lock nobody down? Luka gave y'all buckets. Like they
Wow,
nobody wants to.
that sounds like you, bro. But go ahead.
Don't do me like this. But yeah, so they don't want to hear this all summer. So I feel like they're gonna have a bounce back game. But my man Luka been going stupid. It don't matter if it's PG, Kawhi, Pat Bev, Reggie Jackson. Luka might as well be a Burger King because he's having it his way every time. They dropped 2 games at home, like at home, back to back. Like, come on, and they still struggle in the fourth quarter, even with Rondo. And if you're struggling to get buckets in the fourth quarter with Rondo, there's something wrong with your offense.
Yeah, I think I said last episode, Ty Lue's 0-2 in the playoffs without LeBron.
Right. I don't know what is going on there, but if you can't score with Rondo, there's something wrong there. And that's a major red flag. That's the red flag. Like if your significant other it just keep hiding their phone, keep getting phone calls late at night and don't tell you nothing, that's the one of them kind of red flags. And that's what makes me have to go with the Mavericks for game 3.
Wow, I really thought you was about to say the Clippers. I got the Mavs too, man. And I seen on Twitter where they said Rondo's been calling out the plays for the Mavericks. And Rondo played with the Mavericks in 2014-2015 season. So to think about it, the Mavs ain't been running no plays if they calling it out. They lost 2 games at home. It don't look good right now for the Clippers.
Don't.
You calling out the plays and you still lost not 1, but 2 games in your crib?
And you gotta think about it, like Rondo is such a what's the word I'm looking for? Rondo is such a attention to details kind of person. Like I listened to an All the Smoke episode with Doc Rivers, and Rondo was that kind of person. Like he wanted you to say the wrong thing so he could tell you that you're wrong and why you're wrong and like why he is right about what plays the team likes to run, tendencies of a certain player, and things of that nature. So if he was like that as a young bull back in Boston, think about how he is now with the Clippers.
And he played with LeBron. You already know how LeBron was too.
Exactly. And you still can't get it right. You still can't get a stop. Come on, I don't know, man. That's why I say I gotta go to Mavericks.
And shooting everybody else on the Mavericks is hitting. Ain't nobody hitting on the Clippers.
Yeah, and the Clippers.
They got one. We talked about this earlier. They got one of their shooters, Luke Kennard, on the bench, paying $64 million. He a fan basically in the jersey.
He doing what we doing right now, chilling.
Shoot, come get him on the show. Let's talk. What's going on?
Right, man.
Give us a scoop.
Because him over Reggie Jackson is mind blowing.
Him over Terrence Mann is mind blowing.
That too. But yeah,
because Reggie Jackson kind of facilitate though, so I could see why. Kinda, that's why I said kinda. The same Oklahoma City days.
I mean, Luke can facilitate. He facilitated for Duke when he was there. That was my point guard for at least 2 years. So I know he could do it, but sheesh, man, it's just a very wild situation that the Clippers have going on right now. And like I said, I peep red flags like nobody else, man. Like the red flag might as well be right here in my face. That's how well I see it. Hey, but that's all we got for you guys today. Appreciate you guys for tuning in to another episode of J-Wall Sports.
Yes,
If you guys
sir.
are already not, follow us on Twitter. Talk to us on Twitter. You know, my handle is at LJ_hoops1. Nishan's is at Nishan.
Nashawn_3
Okay, I was right.
NISHAWN _
Yeah,
One
you
of those
know,
tres.
and we know we on Twitter also at JWall Sports. Come talk to us. You know,
Hit
other than
that
that,
follow
man.
button.
Oh yeah, hit the notification bell. I think it. Forget where it be at. You know. Yeah, and we out.